Cowboys. Troy Aikman sees a lot of positives behind Dak Prescott's season. The Hall of Famer said Dak has been more decisive with the ball and has improved greatly since his first few years by, quote, sheer determination and a lot of hard work. So, Shannon, do you agree with his assessment?
I do, to a point. Skip, I've always respected Dak's work ethic. I've always felt that he had a lot of confidence. People like he's playing with more confidence. No, I always thought Dak Prescott was very, very confident. I think what has happened is that they've kind of shifted the offense and relied a little bit more on him. They put a little bit more on his plate. They've allowed him to throw the football more, and they've kind of run Zeke a little less than what we've seen in Zeke's first 3 years and Dak's first 3 years. I still believe they're a run-based team, but they have no problem coming out now, Skip, and allowing Dak to throw the football. We've seen him have some monster games by throwing the football, even against what we would consider some lesser competition. Because the Cowboys are showing more confidence in him, he's gaining more confidence in his own ability. But I still see some inaccuracies. I still see some throws that are not well placed. And Skip, sometimes you can get a completion, and it's a 10, 14-yard completion. But if you hit the guy in the right area, now it's a 30-yard, maybe a home run. And I need to see more of that from Dak. Do he have ability? Yes, I've always felt that he had ability, but I don't see what you see. Skip, I see if he keeps progressing, the next step for him to take is to land into that top 10. But top 10 quarterbacks don't fall behind 31-3. Top 10 quarterbacks don't fall behind 21-3. Top 10 quarterbacks don't go 3 consecutive weeks in which they allow their offense to only score 9 points in the first half. That's not what they do. So you can sit here and oh, my goodness, I can't believe you saying that. But that happened on your guys' watch. Your guy is the quarterback. That's your guy. And he's allowing his team to fall behind 31-3.
Does he play safety?
But here's the thing.
No,
you don't. You know, Skip, but this is what I love about football. Because, you know, when I was growing up, we used to play basketball, Skip. We call make it, take it.
Yeah.
If I make the basket, I get to take it back out again. I get to go again. So I keep making buckets. Who knows? I might get to 15 and not even get a guy the ball back.
Sure,
but in football, that's not how it works. You score a touchdown, guess what you got to do, Skip? You got to kick it off to the opposing team.
Really?
So, in other words, while they getting all them 31s, what the hell was Dak doing once they got to 7? Once they got to 14, 17, 24, 31. What was he doing, Skip Bayless?
Throwing a pass that hit Amari right here that was muffed into an interception that was returned 59 yards. That's what happened.
So that was a 27-point play?
And in that game, he wound up throwing, Dak Prescott did, for 463 yards. He almost threw them all the way back from 31 to 3 down. It came within a botched field goal of an onside kick. It's pretty great. So now it's my turn. I greatly appreciate everything that Troy Aikman said about Dak Prescott, because Troy, a year ago about this time, was very hard on Dak publicly as the Cowboys were starting to spiral down toward 3 and 5. And I get the criticism at that point, but in the big picture, I still think Dak Prescott sits back on a daily basis and thinks, what do I have to do to convince Shannon Sharpe? That's what I think he says. Because I'm sure he, respects you, but he probably disconnects on your grasp of what he's already achieved in this league.
What?
So just quickly, I'm going to work back through this. As a raw rookie, a 4th-round draft pick thrown into the starting job in place of Tony Romo, he led the NFL in QBR the whole way to the last game, to game number 16 for them as they were going 13-3. Remember this? And the last game was meaningless at Philadelphia because they'd already clinched all the way through in the division, obviously. So in that last game at Philly, he went 4 of 8 for 37 yards, and his QBR was 45, and it barely cost him the QBR championship. Matt Ryan barely won it. Tom Brady eked in just ahead of Dak, and Dak was just little points off those 2 QBRs. So then we look at the big picture. First 3 years in this league, Dak Prescott led it in game-winning drives. Not Tom Brady. He led it in game-winning drives. No quarterback in his first 3 years has had a higher completion percentage than Dak had in his first 3 years. But all he hears is he can't throw, he's not accurate. So what happened last year when they acquired Amari Cooper? takeoff, cleared for takeoff. So let's look at the last 10 games last year, not this year, the last 10 games last year. In the NFL, Dak Prescott ranked #1 in completions. He ranked #1 last year in catchable passes over the last 10 games. So Shannon Sharp said, I question his accuracy. Nobody over the last 10 games, the money games, the clutch games, nobody threw more catchable passes than Dak Prescott. Completion percentage, he was 3rd. Air distance, so you can't do dink and dak on this, he was 3rd in the whole NFL. So his passes are traveling the 3rd farthest to their receivers. And then we go all the way to completions for first down. He was 5th of the last 10 games. He was sensational. That's a top 5 quarterback over the last 10 games. Yet all I hear is he can't throw, and all I hear is, oh, he's finally starting to figure it out this year.
Skip, I didn't say
what are you talking about?
I didn't say he couldn't throw. I say consistently be accurate. Those are two entirely different things.
Is 10 games a pretty big sample size?
No.
No, it's not.
It's not as big as 4 years.
Oh, really?
No.
Huh, interesting. I don't know. I have no idea.
See,
he just keeps on keeping on. And by the way, in the playoffs last year, he led all the playoffs in QBR, but he can't throw and he's not accurate.
Well, he only played 2 games. There are a lot of teams, a lot of guys that played 3 games.
Yeah.
Pretty hard. So guess who still leads the league in QBR right here, right now?
Barely.
Dak Prescott.
Barely.
Well, barely is #1.
Holding on.
Did he throw a pick? Did he throw a pick Sunday? But Skip, here's my thing, is that when you look at Dak, everything has to be perfect. You see what, and the Bible teaches us that the devil appeared before God and said, the reason why Job serves you is that you got this hedge around him. Take the hedge from around him, and he'll curse his very maker. See, when everything is perfect, he got both tackles. He got Amari. Zeke can run. The defensive player lights out. He can win.
Dak must feel like Job. Like, why me, Lord? Why me? Why do you keep doing it to me?
Oh, but here's the thing.
Why are they all after me?
Look at Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have Devontae, and he's still doing what he did. Mahomes.
What did he do? He had one game, one blip.
Stop it.
No, he did.
Stop it.
Against the worst defense in pro football.
Hold on.
Way to go.
If you don't mind me asking. Did he have Devontae in Dallas?
Did he have Aaron Jones?
Well, Skip, it's a rhetorical question.
Okay, who took the game over? Aaron Jones took the game over.
Again, my homeboy played a large chunk of the season without Tyreek Hill, without Sammy Watkins. This is when you become the top. See, the top 10 guys, you can do it when you don't have your top 10 guys.
What was Aaron Rodgers' QBR at Dallas? Do you remember? It was 49. It was under 100.
W.
Yeah.
That was the quarterback. That I get quarterback.
Oh, really?
I took it off the menu. I took it off. I took it off the menu.
Yeah, because you can't win it.
No, I took it off the menu.
Yeah. I understand.
Because people they kept getting confused. What time of the day? Was it a breakfast item? Was it a lunch item? Was it an after 5 item? So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to remove QBR and clear away. So you come in, you get hot air. So when he came to after the Green Bay game, what did he get? A flaming one. That thing was so hot. Ooh, I said, Dak, I knew you were coming. So I waited. Because I know you had to do your interviews and everything. Skip, I brought that thing
Stayed
right
open.
Really?
I brought it right off the grid. That thing was just flaming.
Who has the second best record to Tom Brady over the last 4 years in the NFL? Help me out.
And it's one in what? Like you tell me all the time. When I give you LeBron stats and I give you guys stats, and it's one in what?
Won him what?
Yeah.
It won him a playoff game last year. Should have won him one as a rookie.
No, it didn't. No,
Mason Crossbar.
No, don't do
56 and 51.
No. Skip, don't do that. Skip, but you talk about Green Bay, all them interceptions. You saw that again in New Orleans, interceptions.
All those interceptions against Green Bay?
Yeah.
I saw one. I saw one bad idea interception. Yeah, well, what about Kevin King on Michael Gallup? Do you remember that? It was like as blatant a pass interference as I've ever seen.
Skip, 12 touchdowns, 7 picks. Really? You think that's good? You really? I mean, where is that good?
He deserved 3 of those.
I mean, Skip, we're not halfway through the season yet. I mean, he's on the pace to throw for 16.
So why is QBR still #1? Because QBR is smart enough to discount the ones that weren't his fault.
That ain't his fault.
Yeah,
Not his fault. But see, do they discount when
Did the throw to Amari to open the Green Bay game, did that deserve a pick? No.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. When the guys drop it, do they take that in consideration, QBR? Do they factor that in?
Yes, they do.
Because he
Michael Gallup, 3 drops at Jets.
No, I'm talking about when the defensive player dropped the interceptions.
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they don't.
So going into last week's game, going into the Philly game, which receiving core led the whole NFL in drop passes? Dallas's.
But this is what I know. And I went back and looked at this, Skip. Did you know that Dak Prescott had 120 yards in the first half passing against Green Bay?
Okay.
Now, I mean, why is that?
You know, that's not all that bad.
120?
120?
Yeah, given the fact that if Amari makes that catch, you would have had 150 in the first half. That's on the way to 300, right?
Really?
Really?
I just want to know. I just want to know why is it all these comebacks? Well, you're ahead. You ain't got to come from behind.
Yeah, my defense doesn't show up. Finally did on Sunday night.
They did.
See, Skip, this is the problem. See, this is the problem that a lot of people have, and one of the problems that I have with you, because when Dak doesn't play well, it's all. And the Cowboys lose. It's the defense. Zeke looks like he's Earl Campbell.
Yeah.
I got a coach that can't motivate.
Yeah.
It's everybody else's fault. At what point in time will you ever say, you know what, Dak didn't play a good game and the Cowboys lost?
When he's the reason they lose, I will say so. And I've said it before. I ripped him after the Tennessee game last year. He was awful.
But I'm trying to figure out, Skip, if the quarterback is the most important player, he plays the most important position, shouldn't he get the lion's share of the blame when they lose? Because you damn sure heap lion's share of the credit when they win.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I need that.
I will.
That's what I... No.
Wait, second most victories in the NFL over the last 4 years? Dak Prescott. So how many times does he deserve blame for what?
The losses.
They've won the division 2 of his 3 years, and they're on their way to winning it now.
The 3 losses.
Who's in first place in the NFC East right
Temporarily.
now? Help me out.
Temporarily. The temp agency.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they ain't gonna last long.
Boy,
you know how temp agencies
they
work.
temped all the way home
You
in
know how
2016 and 2018.
You know how temps work. You're just here for a short while.
Yeah.
Don't get too comfortable.
Fill in.
Yeah.
You know, you still can't really explain to me how over the last 10 games last year with Amari Cooper, first in completions and first in catchable passes, but he's inaccurate.
So Amari